So the reports broke last night mostly that there were multiple reasons why Jimmy Kimmel was pulled off the air. But chief among them was, not only was he not planning on apologizing when he was going to go back out on his show Wednesday evening, he was planning on attacking MAGA. Attacking. Words, my words are being purposefully twisted, he was planning on saying, per a report in the Wall Street Journal. See, it's our fault that we didn't understand that really he was supposed to be super supportive of MAGA. He wasn't pointing the finger at MAGA. Just a reminder for those of you who hadn't heard them, here's what he said on Monday night that caused the trouble. Sat one.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Unbelievable. I mean, like every word there was untrue. Like literally every word he said was false and an intentional smear. And the shooter had nothing whatsoever to do with MAGA, which he knew. And I'll tell you how I know he knew. Jimmy Kimmel has made perfectly clear in the past that he's factual. He's super factual. Is this a SOT, guys, or is this just a quote? But he got into his own little dispute with Aaron Rodgers, the football player, who had suggested Jimmy Kimmel might be on the Epstein list. And Jimmy Kimmel was very upset about that allegation. And Jimmy Kimmel went out on his show and said the following in January of 2024.
He decided to insinuate that I am a pedophile. This is how these nuts do it now. You don't like Trump, you're a pedophile. It's their go-to move. And it shows you how much they actually care about pedophilia. And as far as the, well, you say things about people all the time argument goes, yes, I do. It's not the same. It's not even close to the same. We say a lot of things on this show. We don't make up lies. In fact, we have a team of people who work very hard to sift through facts and reputable sources before I make a joke. And that's an important distinction because the truth still matters. And when I do get something wrong, which happens on rare occasions, you know what I do? I apologize for it, which is what Aaron Rodgers should do, which is what a decent person would do.
So he is what we would call in the law a fucking liar because he says he has a team of fact checkers that don't allow him to say lies and that if he errs, he'll go out there and apologize and clear it up. But he was entirely wrong in trying to blame this shooting on MAGA and saying this shooter was affiliated with MAGA or one of theirs, and he knew it. And the reason I know he knew it is because he says he has a team of researchers that researches every fact before he says it on his show. And what we knew as of Monday night was that this shooter, while yes, he had Republican parents, do your parents, does their party registration dictate what you're going to be? Oh, if only. If only. No, that what matters is what were his politics. That's what we're looking for here, and most specifically his motive. We know that this was a unaffiliated voter. That's how he was registered, this shooter. We knew that his own mother said that he had gone leftward. We didn't yet have the mother saying he had latched on to pro-gay and pro-trans ideology. That came another day later. Fine. But we knew that he was living with somebody who is transitioning male to female, that he, Tyler, was into, quote, furry culture, that the man he's living with was also dressed like a, quote, furry, with it, which is an anthropomorphic, human/animal type character that people have weird sexual fetishes around. Don't go there. It's closely linked to the trans community. That's what you need to know. We know that the Utah governor had said he was driven by leftist ideology. We know that the bullet casings had leftist messages on them like anti-fascist catch, fascist catch, an anti-fascist song, and the notices bulges, OWO, which is another, it's a reference to furry culture. Once again, all of that, of course, spells leftist to anybody with eyes and ears and a brain. And by the way, we didn't even have to go that far. All you needed to know was that Charlie Kirk got shot at one of the Charlie Kirk events. And you knew it was someone who hated Charlie Kirk because of his politics. That was obvious. Only leftists trying to deny any connection to the shooter or his ideology or what infected his mind would deny that. So he knew because he had his team of fact checkers who knew all the things I just said, because I know them, and I too am into facts. And I learned them from the same news sources he had access to, or his fact checkers did, which is how I know it was an intentional lie that he told on the air on Monday night. And the other reason I know it was an intentional lie was by the time we got into Tuesday, we did hear from the mother. We saw the indictment. We saw all of the things that were alleged at that press conference, specifically with the mother saying leftist ideology, the gay thing, the trans thing, which we knew was just more evidence, but whatever. It got even more airtight. And here's what he did on Tuesday night. On Tuesday night, already the controversy had blown up. And what did he say? Did he go out Tuesday night to apologize, to say, I got it wrong, let me correct it? Well, let's listen in. SOT 2.
Well, many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. The president and his henchmen are doing their best to fan the flames so they can, I guess, attack people on the dangerous left. Which is it? Are they a bunch of sissy pickleball players because they're too scared to get hit by tennis balls, or a well-organized, deadly team of commandos? Because they can't be both of those things.
Unfortunately, it can, and it is. You have a super big tent for wackos over there on the left. Jimmy, you do have weak-kneed, soy boy, skater, scooter types who, would much more likely be on the pickle court than the tennis court, but there's nothing wrong with pickle. And then you do have the Antifa types, and you have the radical types who absolutely would take a gun, lie down on a rooftop, and try to kill the next president of the United States. And by the way, that description applies both to Trump and to Charlie. Everyone knows Charlie was going to be president one day. You could see it just upon shaking the man's hand. It's your side, Jimmy, that does that. Yeah. And it's your side that's feminizing men right out of their non-toxic masculinity, out of their masculinity, period. So that was his message on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, he's still attacking MAGA as working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. We want to we're in mourning, you fucking asshole. We're not capitalizing on the death of Charlie. We're in mourning. You leftist losers are out there trying to blame us for his death, trying to disparage his legacy, and we're trying to correct you, and we're trying to correct the record. And for once, we're fighting back. That's what you're talking about. You're just not used to it. You've crossed a line that we're not willing to let you cross without a fight. We usually blow you lunatics off as a fringe who we can't even respond to rationally. But it's beyond that now. So we get to Wednesday, and Disney and ABC are now in meltdown because, according to The Hollywood Reporter, The Wall Street Journal, CNN, the phone lines were ringing off the hooks, both at ABC, at Disney, which owns ABC, of course, and at the affiliates, right? Because you've got the big ABC, like the headquarters where they make Good Morning America and all that. And then they have affiliates across the nation that bring you local news and so on. And they carry the ABC programming. They don't produce it. They kind of get it because they're ABC programs. And they have independent obligations under the law when it comes to the FCC and independent standards of taste and so on. And their phone lines were getting burned up too. And so they were upset. They too are feeling the vibe shift that we felt since Trump's election. And they've had it with this nonstop pinko commie leftist programming up and down their airwaves, from The View in the morning straight through to Kimmel in the evening. And don't even get me started on David Muir. And then you had Brendan Carr go on Benny Johnson's podcast and say, enough is enough. Like, these affiliates actually do need to take seriously their obligation of protecting the public interest when they decide what goes on their airwaves, and they should stand up. It was him saying, look, we can do this the hard way or we can do this the easy way, which sounded like I will get involved if I have to, but he hadn't yet. He hadn't. He had used words saying hard way, easy way, we'll see. And then they all started calling ABC saying, we're out. We do not want Jimmy Kimmel. We're out. We're not airing him tonight. Yes, there was the one group, Nexstar, which does have a merger that it needs FCC approval on. Got it. But then came Sinclair. They don't. They don't have a merger. They felt exactly as Nexstar did. We don't want him. And we certainly don't want him going back out there. Now we find out. And not only tripling down on the message, but turning it into yet another attack on MAGA. He was going to attack MAGA again. He was going to go out there and say, my words are being purposefully twisted by MAGA. Here's how Elizabeth Wagmeister, reporter on CNN, described his plan.
Jimmy wanted to go on his show last night, and in his monologue, I hear that he wanted to address the backlash from the right regarding his commentary about Charlie Kirk's charged killer. And I hear that that monologue was very hot. It very much took aim at MAGA, and that is when the executive said, we can't have him go on the air tonight.
Yeah, so Disney pulled the plug. They called Jimmy. They had been speaking to him for hours saying, could you please tone it down, you complete loser? Those are my words. And he wouldn't. So you know what? They said, you don't own ABC, you don't own Disney, and we are indefinitely suspending you until you can get your shit back together. He's not fired. We actually don't know how this is going to end. And that is the series of events that has led to the leftist meltdown now. And literally T-shirts, we're all Jimmy Kimmel. I am Jimmy Kimmel. As though they've lost, like Charlie, they're actually equating their loss of Jimmy Kimmel on his loser show, which no one watched, to our loss of Charlie Kirk. These people are sick. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to 10 grand. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.